Well, guys, we're back with another video. So this is where we're currently at. M5 is on blocks, and it's going to be up there for a long time. And as you saw from the last video, here's some of the insides of our engine and our block. Now, that's not even the oil pan. That is the skid plate for the oil pan. So the point of today's video is to start looking at some options, because while I do want a 1500 horsepower M5 eventually, that's going to be pretty costly, and I don't know if it's worth it. So in this video, we're going to sit down, we're going to get on the computer, I'm going to share the screen with you guys, and we're basically just going to run through some of my options and just see where we're at, like what I actually want to do. Do I want to put a stock motor back in it and flash it back to stock for 20 grand? Do I want to buy a built motor? Like, let's just run some numbers because I have no idea what it's going to even cost and see where we're at. So let's sit down and check it out. Alright guys, so this is what we're working with. First things first, of course there's the M5 chilling in the background, but we need to figure out, what does a stock motor cost? If we were to just get a used stock motor with 15, 20, 30, 40, whatever thousand miles, and throw it in this thing, just bare minimum cost to get it up and running. So let's see if we can find a used Alright, so let's see what we got here. Just for a used motor. S63, Precision Sports, that doesn't look like a complete block. It looks like there's one that's locked up, but maybe a good enough core to send in, but let's just see if we can find a good used motor just to get it running. We don't want any rebuilds yet. We are just looking for something to get us running. Let's just eBay it first and see what we come up with. These are all F10 M5s. Let's get a little more specific. Let's see. Oh, what is this right here? 2019 M5 used, 4.4 liter. Well, that is definitely not that motor. That is a 4-cylinder, it looks like. But let's see, where was that at? Let's go back. Go back. We missed it. Where did it go? I messed it all up. Where was it at? Oh, right here. Okay. So 13,900. The picture isn't right, but maybe they're just 19 details. OEM engine, professionally inspected, tested, clean, cracks, leaks, and damage. 1-year warranty and 30-day return policy. Direct installation. How many miles are on it? Doesn't say. But this isn't bad. This doesn't look bad. It's definitely not our motor, so we'd have to get some pictures and confirm everything. But first option is 13.9. So let's get a little sheet together here. And alright, so let's get a little sheet together and see what we've got. So let's just say used. Let's just start our list. Used grade A is what? 13.9. So say 14,000, probably some more with shipping. Let's keep searching. I don't know who the supplier is, but let's see. What is this? M5 4. This looks like us. Right here. It's from a 2018, which nothing should have changed. Let's see what we got here. 48 F90 63. Looks like us. Let's see if we can see description. 60 grand. 60-day returns. Here we go. Okay. Auction 2018, 45,000 miles, 90-day warranty, used long block with turbos. That's pretty good, because if our turbos are destroyed, accessories are available. I would just get accessories. I don't know what is shot on this. Make it other models. Core exchange is required. So plus 3,000. Buyers responsible for them. We'd have to do no core because we have a bad core. But you figure out 16 grand plus 3. What are the reviews? Item was described. Good, good, good. So far, so good. So far, so good. So 16 grand with, if I'd have to pay shipping, say 17 and 3 for the core. So let's say 20. 45,000 miles. And 20,000. So that's another option. Let's keep looking and see what else we can find. Man, I don't know if I trust eBay, but I'm sure you can find some good stuff on here, but I just get a little sketched out. I did look on BMW's site, so let me add this on there, and a brand new full is 33,000 OEM, 33,000. So let's see. 2019 M5 comp, or the bad OEM turbo, 60,000 miles, but that has literally everything on it. Looks like the car was hitting the front, so that's not ideal, but let's see what the description is. 60,000 miles, includes wiring harnesses, engine runs and drives, removed from a wrecked M5, bumper covers, suspension, so 60,000 miles for 12 grand. Doesn't say anything about a core, so let's throw that in there. 60,000 miles. And they wanted 12 grand for that. So it looks like we have some options. So let's just call this block right here, if you will. We'll just call this getting it back to running. So OEM, used, and just getting it back to running. It looks like we're going to be anywhere from 12 to 20,000, depending on what we go with. Oh, and our description got messed up here, so let's go back. We'll leave it at that. So that's just getting it back up and running. That's what we're looking at. So let's go into step 2, or stage 2, whatever you want to call it. So let's say I wanted to build this thing capable of making the kind of power I want to make. So
how much would it be for a built motor with core charge? It would have to be. So let's see what we can find on that aspect. So we will call this just stock OEM. Just getting it running again. Now let's see what we can find build-wise. Okay, AutoWorks. Let's see. Alright, so here we go. S63TU4 engine rebuild configurator. So 10 grand, obviously that's just the start. Our builds follow straightforward process, deposit, some vehicle. We're going to install it here, so we're not going to worry about that, but let's start filling this out. So we're going to use their shipping, forged engine, and core. Our core isn't good, so how much is a core for this car? Before we get into all this, let's see. Whether they have a core available. They do. Okay, so their block is 6 grand. So let's add 6 grand onto. Let's just start. Come on. Let's start here and let's see. Because that's what their block cost is, which is what we need on this. And if we're going to rebuild everything anyway, we'll see. We'll see if our core is acceptable. I'm sure they'll still take this because my heads are probably still good, but let's see. And the crankshaft, honestly, through the borescope photos, which I will throw one up here, I'm going to also include all the borescope photos in a really in-depth deep dive of like everything that went wrong here, because we spent some time looking at this with the borescope and inspecting everything that we could, and we think we found the culprit. At least a pretty good estimation of what exactly happened. So I'm going to make an entire separate video doing a deep dive of what happened with all the videos and pictures, but I'll throw a photo up, like I said, just to show. I think my crankshaft may still be good. I don't know. It's hard to tell without taking it out, but it's a possibility. So let's just fill it out as such. F90 chassis. Okay, shipping. Round trip. Okay, 800, not bad. Forged engine, sending in core. So, forged pistons, head studs, fire rings, sleeves. I don't think we'll need sleeves. Let's try it without. Sending in engine first. Valve spring kit, yes. Full head work, which we're going to do, keeping the valve springs. Spark plugs, we will do our own, because I want to do probably 2 steps Kohler and gap them to our own specs. We're not going to do spark plugs, we'll get NGK ones. Upgraded direct injectors, yes, I want those. Ignition coils, no, I have diamond ignition coils that we can pull off of this. So we don't need the ignition coils. We're going to do our own spark plugs. Direct injectors I'm going to do anyway, but I don't know what these are capable of. Gen 2 IFX 350 direct injectors. Let's see. What they are capable of. Spool performance, the injectors can support over 800, but if we're running full E, can they keep up? These injectors are 30% flow over stock. 30% more flow than stock. I'm not sure if that's going to cut it. I am not sure if that's going to cut it. 30% more. Maybe, but if I'm running full E, I'm not sure. Do they make a port injection kit in this car? I don't think. S63 port injection kit. I don't think they make a, what is this, 8-cylinder direct port injection conversion. S63. What is this? So this is their model. So they're saying port injection conversion S63. Sold out anyway, E85 compatible. I don't know if it's gonna fit. I don't know about that. I wonder if these injectors can flow enough for 1,000 horsepower full E. I don't know. Let's see what Precision has for sale. S63 high flow direct injectors. What's this? Increase. Okay, so this is similar to those injectors on Arcade's site. This is 31% more fuel than stock. 100% compatible with E. Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, okay, here we go, right here. So if they're 31% more, and the other ones are 30%, it should be about the same. On gasoline, if we ran gas straight 93, we'd have to run methanol probably, because that would get pretty hot. So if I ran E85 potential 975, that's still pretty good. I mean, I want this thing to be reliable. So if we go forged motor and 900 wheel, 950 wheel, and the E85 compatible, honestly, it's not too bad. But regardless, if we're doing all this, we can probably do meth injection and just run straight 93. Okay, so these are 2 grand Precision Raceworks. So let's just go with these. Let's go. Ooh, 2750. Well, installed though. So what is our total looking like here? Is it not going to say? Well, we might just have to add this up ourselves. So let's do this. So what are we at? We're at 11,000 plus shipping is going to be 800 plus forged. So let's just delete all this. So 11,000 plus 800 for shipping plus 3K for forged. I'm correct there. Yep. Core, we're going to have to get the block, which was what I had that 6 and 9 prefix for. So 6,000. Let's just say, let's overshoot this a little bit so we are dialed in. We're not having any surprises. Okay, so 22, 14, and 15. 14 plus 15. 15, bang, bang. For the fire rings, what's that bring us to? We've got 26.9 so far. Exhaust cam upgrade, another 1,800. Valve spring kit is 1,500. Honestly, but do I have to go this far? I mean, I think the rods are really the weak point, at least as long as you're under 1,000. I wonder if we even have to go this. Let's try to be kind of conservative. So let's not do our exhaust cam. Let's not do our valves, and let's not do this because we're not doing any head work now. So we're just doing bottom end stuff. Well, fire rings. You know what? Whatever. We'll go off for it. So we were here, so if we're 1800, another 1500, and another 15. So 18, 3, 48. Stop. 31,000. Okay. And that is, oh, and then the injectors, 2750. So 35 grand pretty much for a fully built motor with core charge. Now that's saying that they accept everything else and it's just going to be the block price. So let's get that down. So we'll go RK built, no sleeves. So RK built, no sleeves, block charge, and that's with injectors. So that'll save our costs down the line as well. So RK built, no sleeves, block charge with injectors came out to 35 grand. That's not bad. Okay, so let's keep it uniform. So if we got it built with RK, sent in our core, they charged 6 or 7 grand, whatever it was, for the block, and then all of the rest of the building, comes out to 35 grand with injectors. So let's just keep on this path, and let's say we're going to go for a 1,000 horsepower M5 through and through. What else would we need? Well, we have the injectors, so we would need some turbos, so we need some pure 900s. So let's see. Hybrid. I would rather just go like big precision turbos and just go all out, but I couldn't find any. What is this? TTE stage 2. I mean, these are, I don't know, eBay turbos for $1,200 really. Okay. Let's just go pure. Let's go pure 900s. I think they're making 900. Okay, AutoWorks. 90. And honestly, I would just ship my turbos with the engine, so that'll be that. 45, 4700, that's not bad for pure stage 2s. What are stage 2s capable of? Look at those serious power gains, blah blah blah, what we do. It's running 9.7 on Draghi. Forged, so stage 2 turbos. So this is pretty much what we would be doing. I mean, we'd be doing a forged block, stage 2 turbos with meth, and then stock wheels, tires, full factory weight, CSF turf force. Release time. 162 60 foot, 9.7 quarter on stock tire at 145, and that's no trans or anything. That's a 9-second car. I mean, not too bad. Not too bad. I'd like to see the 60 to 130, but Yeah, huh? Not bad. So let's go back. Okay. So just this stuff, they're running a 9.7 core exchange. Okay. But it doesn't tell us how much power they're making, but you know, I think pure 900s are obviously capable of 900 plus. So what is the difference between pure 900s and, oh, we would definitely need to do this coolant reservoir because my car is leaking coolant everywhere, which honestly might have contributed to what happened to a lot if the coolant leaked down into the injectors and the coil packs. Maybe, but let's just stick to what we're doing. Obviously, we would definitely go for the RK charge cooler, so that's going to be 3 grand. Methanol adapter for the billet. Let's see what we got here. What are these? Oh, okay. Plug and play adapters, easy installation of wet methanol, injection into mini display. Okay, so let's just say we're going all out. So we're going for the methanol nozzles. So it's going to be 700. And then we'll also do the billet intake manifolds. How much per day? And then the charge coolers as well. Billet intake manifolds 42. Hefty. Let's just say 43. Charge coolers, we'll also need that. Which were 3 grand. Okay. 3 grand on there. And that should be it. Turbo wise, I don't know, the stage 2s, 4 grand on here. What are the pure 900s? Still out. Okay, Keys Motorsports has some. Euro tuning. Let's just go with Keys because they're right down the street. I can literally, I mean, not right down the street, but they're like an hour and a half, 2 hours away. I'll just drive them down there. Okay. 5 grand for the pure 900s. So 3 grand for the pure stage 2s and 5 grand for these. So what are these? Engineered Improvement Sport 900 plus. Okay, so yeah, let's just throw these 5 grand. Okay, so the RK built block and pistons, rods, everything, full built top to bottom. Meth nozzle, billet intake manifolds, charge coolers, turbos, and then we would need the meth injection kit. So let's find one of those, and let's get rid of some of these tabs because it's annoying. Pretty much all methanol kits are going to be pretty much the same. It just may make it a little bit easier. F9X, S63, let's go here. And I mean, this would allow us, we wouldn't have to worry about fuel volume then if we ran meth, because we could keep the temps cooler with the meth. And let's go big boy tank. But I don't feel like filling it up every time, and it's gonna sit in the trunk anyway, so it's gonna get plenty of room. Alright, $1,000 for shipping. Shouldn't be too hard to wire that in. Yep, so we could run 93, no fuel, flow issues because they don't have a port injection kit. If they had a port injection kit for this car, I would go full port and then run just full E and not have to run meth. But it seems like all the big power M5s are running meth, so, and they're using JB4, so we would need a JB4 controller now. I would think so. Unless, oh no, it has it as a JB4 module, okay. Alright, so here's the kit. This is what we need. And it is $1,000. Let's just round up. $1,000. So let's see where we're at. We have the motor to withstand 1,000. We have our meth setup. We have our billet intake manifolds for our meth setup. We have our charge coolers and our turbos. So now we are missing fueling still at the back half of the car. So we would need a triple pump in the tank, and then we probably also have to do high pressure. So let's find a low pressure fuel pump. Stage 3 S63 Batmobile. And these fuel pumps are pretty easy on these cars. They're just right under the seat, drop them in, probably takes an hour. Just get the right tool. So, spool hub switch plug and play. I don't know what the difference is between these three options. Reflex, plug and play, reflex flying lead, spool hob switch. I don't know what the difference is. Why do designed to support exceeding 1200, including 85, so it'll be fine on 93. No problem. Okay, so it requires a compatible high pressure system. High pressure fuel pump like a spool. Okay, so this will work. I will have to look into our controllers here because I don't know what that means. So 800, let's just round them into 2. So let's find our high pressure pumps. What is it saying to use with it? Alright, let's see if we can find these high pressure pumps. Let's see what we got. Okay, right here. Bang. This is for B46, CBF 30. We need it for our M5. Here we go. S63 straight from Spool's website. Yikes. A little bit pricey. Alright, so high pressure fuel pump. Is this both of them now? It looks like both of them, right? We don't need an ethanol analyzer because we're going to go to 93. Yes, I want to add a micron filter unit because I don't want stuff in my injectors. Spend way too much on this stuff to do that. So 30% more fuel, that's fine. That'll do what you need to do. Plug and play. Yep, 2 pumps. F90 M5. Okay, so alright, that is that. So is the other one 847. So 5600, let's say 5800. Yeah. Yeah, a nice spelling. 5800 for our fueling. So let's think. We have fuel, we have our ignition, because we'll do NGK plugs. We'll just add those in here because I'm not going to use the old ones. I don't know what they are, $200-300. We're going to use our diamond coil packs that we already have on this because they have, I don't know, 5,000-10,000 miles on them. So RK block, so we can handle the power. We have our methanol system, we have our intake, we have our charge coolers, we have our pure 900s, and we have fueling. So we have air, we have fuel, we have our meth for additional cooling, and our block. So power-wise, that should get us to like 900, 1,000 pretty comfortably. Now, I would probably stick to only like 900 because we still have stock trans, stock torque converter, stock differential, stock axles, stock everything. So although the system in here is pretty beefy, we're not going to push that. So what is our total? I forget how to do this. How do we see? I know there's a way to add this up. Oh, don't want to do that. What are we do? Alright, we broke it. We broke the spreadsheet. There we go, okay. A little bit of a newbie with this stuff. Okay, there's our total price, and I know there's a way to find the sum. Command F. Oh, right here. Open my eyes. 55.1 in total. So, 55.1. Put this other box. Alright, so here's our options so far. We have stock motor with 20,000, 45,000 miles, brand new OEM for 33,000, used with 60K, which that might be a ticking time bomb as well, because I'm sure that it's been beat up. So if we were to buy a motor just to get in this thing and get it on the street in 3 months, 2 months from now, it would be anywhere from 12 to 25,000 maybe. If we were to do the RK built block and built motor and drop it in, just that alone, and still run our E50 tune and still be making like 750, limited by fueling and turbos, but no longer have the risk of pulling the rod through the block as much of a risk. There's always a risk, but we would be at 35,000. And then if we were to get turbo, fueling, and cooling set up for 900, 1,000, you'd get 55. And then to finish the build, we would need torque converter, probably 3-4 grand, trans, I don't know, 10 grand, 12 grand for stage 2 maybe. Let's just say 12 for 16 grand for the trans and torque converter. And then we would need drive shafts, front and rear, because all-wheel drive, and then we would need half shafts, front and rear. And then the differentials, we need like a billet diff or something to hold that kind of power, especially if we're going to be doing launches, because that thing can snap. So 14, 25, 30 grand maybe for driveline stuff. I'm not going to get too in depth with that because that's, down the line, and I roughly know what that is. Driveline stuff. You know what? Let's just run through it since we're here. This video is already going to be like 40 minutes long, 50 minutes long. Honestly, it's probably going to be an hour, but whatever. So let's go build trans, or honestly, we could build a trans here. So all I need is a kit. Let's just go to Pures. Trans solutions. Alright, let's see. We want parts kits. Michelin hard part kit. We have a ZF876, I want to say that. So, yeah. ZF876 part kit. What are our options? Stage 2, obviously, 5 grand. Is that what it is? Okay. So, 5 grand for that. Trans internals, 5 grand. And then we need the torque converter. And the diff and stuff, let's just plug away. It's the internals. Let's go back up to torque converters. Torque converter upgrade, billet race torque converter. Here's what we need. Billet cover, billet drive plate, bearings, TIG rotor, turbine, blah blah blah. Custom RPM stall option, billet stator, cool, 2300. And then we would also need transfer case. I don't know what the transfer case is. 35L, 45L? I don't know which one this is gonna be. What transfer case is in the implant? APC 13. APC 13 via, according to AI. Do you have a part number maybe? APC 13. Is that even an option? 13-1? 13-1, maybe? Maybe. I don't know, I'd have to look into it, but they all look like they are the same $2,500. So, regardless, requires you to send in or purchase a core, inspected, block, build a plate. Okay. These kits are +2 in the clutch tank. They increase it to just write this down. Okay. So let's just say it's this $2,500 one. Okay, let's do that. So we have torque converter first, and then we have our trans and our internals for that, which we would put together here, because we're gonna drop that trans out to do the motor anyway. So trans internals, torque converter, transfer case. Then we need axles, which we might have to have them custom made, because I don't know if they sell, but worth a shot, right? Oh yeah, flex plate. They'll have one here. No. Valve body upgrade. 50. Because if you are pushing, you need to push more pressure in everything. You're going to need more fluid and the capability to move more fluid with more force. Okay. So let's say this is going to be a performance valve body. So it's 1500. And let's actually just make sure that the stage 2 doesn't just come with all of this stuff. Because they may do all this in their upgrade kit. This is stage 3. 15 grand, 1600 horsepower, 1400 torque. That's great. Stator. So if we sent it into them and had them do it, it's good for that. But that's also 15 grand. What is the stage 2 shipping? 10 grand compared to 5 grand. So we're saving half the money by doing it ourselves, like 5 grand later. So, okay. We have our valve body, now we need axles. Five. So we need our axles and we need our drive shaft. So what is this? These M5, this looks like us. So let's go out of 3 by 155, 3.31 AD, custom drive shaft, must ship rear section of original drive shaft for custom conversion into the differential. Okay. Much stronger, high torque, blah 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 blah. Aluminum drive shaft, must ship the rear section for custom conversion. Okay, so drive shaft is going to be 2600. 2600. Okay, so that's our drive shaft, and then we have our axles, F90 axle. Okay, this looks like axles here. Let's see, F90 M5, complete pair of axles with billet inner tubes and outer studs. Sweet. For the M8 drivetrain, it's the same drivetrain. If you're an F90 M5, please message us. So I would message this company, but their upgrade for the axle is 3 grand. So let's throw that in. I wonder if that includes complete head. I wonder if that includes front end there. Well, honestly, if I'm launching this thing hard and it's only the rear axles, I can just launch it in rear-wheel drive mode and put a tire on it and do that. So, and if I'm at the track, that's probably $3 grand. Axles. $3 grand, and then what's missing? We have our torque converter, we have our trans, we have our drive shaft, valve body, our transfer case, our diff. We need a diff. So again, get rid of some of the stuff, clear out. Differential. Ideally billet, then make one. Here's the billet diff mount. That's fantastic, but we need our, which we would need anyway. But I want the actual diff. What is this? Wave track differential. What is this? F90 M5 1990 to 2016. What? What is it? I don't know about that. BMW differential and steering upgrades. Different from mount. Can't find anything immediately. Let's see if this is probably not gonna find anything. Yeah, there's nothing. It's gonna do anything for us. So for now, let's not worry about the rear diff. If it blows, it blows. Find a used one for $500, $600, whatever. But driveline stuff. So this should cover most of our basis, besides putting it on a good tire. But let's total up this stuff. 16, yeah, so that's what I was figuring. Pretty close. I mean, 16.8. Just say 18 grand with some shipping and taxes and all that. So, driveline stuff is going to be 18 grand. So, if we're going to build this thing fully, I mean, supercar killer, destroy it. Like, it's going to rip. Like, 1200 horsepower, fast M5. It's going to be built motor, all the fueling, the mech, the turbos are going to be 55. Then all the driveline stuff to support that is going to be 18. So 55 and 18, what's that? 8 and 12, 13, be 60, 73. Woo! I'm doing my math right, right? 55, 18. Yeah, 73. Whew. So total, let's just call it total killer. Total killer bill is going to be a whopping $73,000. Let's put a dollar sign in front of this so it feels a little more real, you know? That's how the money looks in your bank account. That's what I paid. That's what I paid for this car. That's insane. I paid 74 grand for this car, and to build it to make 1200, 1400 horsepower on high boost would be 73,000. Wow. Wow. That's we have some thinking to do. I mean, let me think how long that would take to do that. not including labor-wise, just financially, that's going to be a year and a half of saving. Let me think about it. Yeah, man. You're talking like with realistic stuff like buying normal like groceries, just going out every once in a while. Like, that's gonna be like 2 years worth of savings to get the total killer build. That's insane. So now I have some options, right? Do we go just get the car running again, throw a used motor in it, call it good? Or do we go built motor, just built block, and maybe do some of this other stuff later? So just get the car up and running with a solid block. Get the tune refined a little bit more so we don't do what we just did again. And 750 horsepower, like it's still pretty fast, man. It's still a quick car. My 60 to 130, like I said, like 6.2, 6.3 right now. Like, it's still a pretty quick daily driver street car. So 30, that seems like a really good middle ground, honestly. Just a full new block built can handle some power. And then down the line, I can always slap some bigger turbos on it. I can always slowly do the fueling stuff. I can always, piece by piece, build the trans in a winter, you know? But at least I'd have the car up and running. All the other stuff, I mean, once the motor's built, all that other stuff, the charge coolers, the intakes, the intake manifold, like, I mean, it's going to be a pain to get to again, don't get me wrong, but like, Or we can go, let's call this stage. Let's call this stage 1. Let's call this stage 2. Let's call this stage God. Because, yeah, at that point, this thing's going to beat a Lamborghini Revuelto off the thing. It's going to beat Turbo S's, like, at that kind of power level. But yeah, so some guy built I think the guy's name on Instagram is like Marina Blue M5, and he built a full killer M5 build with like 1400 wheel horsepower, and he's walking 1,000 horsepower wall post. So I wouldn't be quite at that level, but I'd be pretty close. I'd be either on par or slowly pulling. He drug it like a school bus. I'll find the link or something and throw the video up. But yeah, so we have stage 1, we have stage 2, we have stage God. And then we have just stock OEM option, like budget option, get it running in a couple months. And then I can think of one more option. I mean, I could even buy one of the used blocks with 45,000 miles, whatever, get it in, tear it apart, and throw my own forged rods in it. So we could call that OEM Plus. We have space for it. So OEM Plus would be, I think it's a guy named Vanner. He does forged pistons, rods that don't have to be balanced or anything. So right here, forged pistons, and just get rid of the weak point. Don't overkill it, but just get rid of the weak point. That way we can still run 750. So forged pistons right here. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's find these rods. They're Arrow rods. Boom, right here. Arrow connecting rods. Yes, we want the rod bearings because these things suck in these cars. What is this? Updated engine installed. Nah, we don't worry about that now. But regardless, okay. So let's add these rods. Okay. Some head studs would be cool if they had it here. Either have fire rings. Oh, I don't think I could install those myself. What's the difference between, oh, we got the Piston British head stud kit. Again, I don't know if I could install the head studs myself, unless I knew a guy with a machine shop. That would be tough, man. That would be tough to do. They make port injection kit. Alright, well, we're not going to go back and change our entire build. Let's just think about it. $8,000 for a port injection kit. We would spend $2,000 on injectors, 4,300. Ooh, $6,000 mech kit. It might, honestly, you figure the meth nozzle, let's add up our stuff. So these two, $5,000. We wouldn't need the meth nozzle and we wouldn't need the built intake manifold. So there's $5,000 right there. We would not need the meth kit. So it's $1,000. That's $6,000. $6,000, honestly, that's only $2,000 difference. So let's make a little note of that. For port. So if we want to do port injection, that's only $2,000 more. Now I wonder, I'd have to really think and talk to some people, but what would be the benefits of running the port injection system with full E, because then we're not constrained by injectors, but we could still do 93 in meth. I don't know. Let's not think about that right now. Let's go back to here. So he does have, and this has wet meth. Man, this would probably be the best. Yeah, man, this would probably be the best way to go about it. Yeah, 42% reduction in pressure drop and 31% increase in cylinder flow. Yeah, I mean, this would be the way to go, port injection, but let's take it back a step. Let's keep looking here. Let's see anything else. Turbo inlets. Okay, cool. Alright, so our total is 77, so let's just say 8. OEM plus, wherever that was, would be 8K plus whatever cost of block or core, just core motor. So OEM plus would be $8,000. Obviously, then we'd have to do all of the engine work ourselves, but we do have an engine stand, so we can probably do that over the course of a couple of days. So OEM plus is going to be stage, we'll call it stage 0.5. This is the get it up and running with a little bit more capability in stock. You know, it'd be able to run 900 pretty comfortably. Anything more than 900, I wouldn't be comfortable going, but 900, 950 would be good. And then we'd still have to go fueling. I don't think the fueling can manage it. Yeah. Options, and so many decisions. This is why I wanted to make this video. I wanted to show you guys, if you've made it this far, congratulations to you, because there are going to be so few people that actually make it this far in this video. This is going to be for me to look back in 5 years and say this is what I was doing. But regardless, if you made it this far in the video, we'll stop and take a moment and say thank you, because that's awesome. Not many people will. So if you make it this far in the video, comment, let's think of a little hidden keyword here. Comment trunk. Just comment the word trunk if you made it this far in the video, and I want to see in the comment section who all makes it this far, because congrats to you. Regardless, back to the video. So I think this is a pretty comprehensive breakdown. This is what I do. Like, I sit upstairs and this is what I do. I look at this stuff and I analyze it and I think, this is what I would have done tonight anyway, so why not record it and share my thoughts and my thinking with you guys? So we have just a motor, boom, used off of eBay, whatever. Let's say we throw that in, just get it running again. Anywhere from 14 grand to 20 grand. Let's say we go midway. We go 18 grand with OEM plus, 26 grand. Think about that. So OEM plus, say average, building the motor ourselves would be rods, pistons, and whatever the cost of the core. So let's say, what did we say for average? 12 to 20, say 18 grand for to 26. So our average for stage 0.5, which would be pistons and rods, stock rest of the motor, that would probably hold up for 750, 800, 900 for quite a while. And let's say an average of that, depending on the core cost, would be 26 grand. Or we just go RK built, fully built, brand new motor, 35 grand, with all the headwork and the valves and everything. At that point, it's like just save up another 10 grand and have a full built motor instead of doing OEM plus to have that. And then you know you're reliable. And that's with no sleeves. What was the sleeving cost? It was pretty fun. I think like 40, 42 the sleeves. So that's going to be that. So stage 0.5, we buy a motor off of eBay or whatever. We look it over, we throw forged pistons and rods in it, we slap it back together, slap it in the car. We're making 750, 800. Good. Don't have to worry about the rods or the bearings anymore. Should be worth. Now, stage 1. This is fully built motor, capable of probably 1,000. If we did the sleeves, maybe 1,200, 1,400. But just the motor, built, solid as a rock. We could always do the other stuff later. Looking at like 35 grand. And if I did the sleeves, let's just say, let me just double check, because I'm going to be using this sheet for quite a while while I think about this decision. Shot by car, BMW, M5, F90, S6050. We go configure sleeves, 5,400. So another 54. Okay, so with sleeves, 35 plus 54. Yeah, so like 40, 41. And that's if my price idea of them doing a $6,000 block charge and no other core charges or any damage charges. That's that. Stage 2 would be built for big power, 900, 1,000. You have the fueling, you have the turbos, and you have the meth or the port or both. And we're ready to rip. Just need a beefed up driveline, and we could do some stuff with that car. 55,000. Stage 3, total killer, do it all at once. Driveline, supercar killer, can dig, can do everything. 73 grand. Yeah, we have some things to think about, but it's getting late, and I'm glad you guys got to see my entire process of how I think about things and laying it all out. I'm glad we got to make this sheet. But I hope you guys enjoyed this long build process, this mental build process, and we're going to end the video here, and I will see you guys in the next video.